Hey, what's up, you guys? I am in the LAX airport and I'm gonna be getting on Virgin Australia Airlines and heading to Australia. This is gonna be, I believe, my longest non-stop flight. I think it's gonna be like 15 hours and 30 minutes. I've been to places far away before, but I've never been on a flight for so long. Usually it's broken up. And I hope you guys can hear me over the loudspeaker. But yeah, so I will talk to you guys later. So right now I am waiting at the tram. In Australia, it is a 16-hour time difference from where I live in the United States. So jet lag is real. I feel like I'm like in a daze right now. The first day I got here yesterday, it wasn't that bad, but now it's like catching up to me. I don't feel tired. I feel too tired to be tired, if that makes sense. On a positive note, the public transportation system here is really amazing. A tram comes like every 5 minutes. So definitely a stark difference between Detroit public transportation system and the one here in Melbourne. So
this stop is Round Street. Stop 18.
hey you guys, another day, less jet lag. Today is an exciting one because we go on our Melbourne art tour. It's a 3-hour tour and it's also going to be given by one of the street artists in the city. So super cool. But before then, we are going to go somewhere, have some coffee and do some chilling. I'm trying to integrate some chill relaxation time in the trip, because when you are traveling to a big city, it can be hard to find that time. So for me, that's going to coffee shops, getting some reading done, getting some writing done in whatever way that I can. So I'm excited to bring you guys along on the art tour a little bit later today. Okay, so this is the end of our Victoria Market, summer night market experience, and it was a lot of fun. And I think I already mentioned, but public transportation here is super convenient and very affordable. And there are areas in the main downtown area, which they call the CBD, or Central Business District, where you can literally ride the trams and public transportation free of charge. So I wanted to talk a bit about my experience at the Immigration Museum. Since I do social work and I'm really into sociology and that kind of thing, I thought it was important, and I always think it's important, to go to these type of museums when I visit different countries, just to learn about societal issues and the history of humanity in that specific country. So a few things that I learned. So on a positive, I learned that Australia is a country that has given a lot of people from other countries an opportunity to excel and get out of dangerous situations in their own countries. So it's allowed people to have access to jobs, more freedom, more opportunity, and escape terrorism and natural disasters at their homes. But the negative is that the Australian immigration policies were very strict. They gave a lot of preferential treatment to groups that they saw as being more worthy of immigrating to the country. So for example, there was a point in time when all British people could basically immigrate here with no questions asked. And that kind of makes sense because like a large population of white Australians, they actually come from Britain. So totally makes sense. But a lot of groups were given more preferential treatment, and there were a lot of laws that were put into place in order to make it harder for certain ethnicities and nationalities to immigrate to the country. And that's really something that you'll see in every country. The United States has that too. It just depends on, what they prefer at the time, but it causes a lot of discrimination in the long run. So it was definitely interesting. I definitely recommend the Immigration Museum to anyone who visits Melbourne, because it is information that you need to know to get a better idea and understanding of the country and the city of Melbourne. And also it talked a lot about the Aboriginal people too, which we definitely cannot forget. The story is very similar to the Native Americans in the United States, as far as the land situation and how it was originally their land. So very interesting. But as you can see from my glasses, it's raining, so I will talk to you guys later. Hey you guys, so I just wanted to do a quick tour of a traditional Melbourne apartment. It is just a traditional studio. So when you first walk in, you have the bathroom to the right, and it's a very small efficiency bathroom. You have the sink here, the toilet, and the shower is pretty small but mighty. Then it has this stand where you can put all of your bathroom things here, the mirror, and then when you first walk in, you have this area here where you can kind of set your things, and then you have a big storage space right here. This kind of reminds me of what we had when I lived in Korea. And then it has a small little cute kitchen table right here. It has 3 chairs, so I guess you can say this is the dining area. And then what's interesting is that there's no separation between the kitchen and the bedroom. I stayed in a studio in Detroit, and it was a separation, which I think was helpful with the smell and the aromas of the kitchen, and making sure that it doesn't mix too much with the main part of the house. But one thing I do think is cool about this place is that the kitchen is pretty large, even though it's a studio apartment. It has a nice amount of counter space, so if you want to do some nice cooking on these counters, this definitely allows for that. And the cabinet space is also pretty nice. So yeah, this is a really nice kitchen for a studio apartment, and it has a mid-size refrigerator, not a small one, but also not like the regular full-size one. And then it comes with the microwave as well. a little bit of decor right here. And this is on the 25th floor, so I think that's really cool. This right here is the living room area. So it just has like a nice little couch, small couch, and then across it has the main TV and TV stand. And then it also has this little outside area right here, so you can go out and be a part of the city. It's very small. It's like a small little balcony area. But yeah, here we go. Isn't that beautiful? So nice. And this apartment is about, give or take, $70 US per night. So yeah, you guys, this is the apartment. This is a standard downtown studio apartment in Melbourne, Australia. I hope you guys were able to get an idea of, you know, the layout of apartments here and the feel of apartments here. Very well designed. I think it's a really good layout for a studio apartment. What up, you guys? I just wanted to let you guys know that this is actually the highlight of my Australia trip so far. Just being able to come here and see the Sydney Opera House. I've always seen this in history books and in social studies class, so just to be up close and personal, it's just like really incredible. So yeah, this is one of my highlights of this trip. Thank you. So the weather did like a complete 180. It was supposed to be rainy and cloudy for the whole day, but we ended up being surprised and it's 80 degrees and sunny. We got some rain, but it was only for about 20 minutes and it was very light. So I'm really happy because we don't have a lot of time in Sydney, only 2 days. Hey you guys, so just a reminder that travel doesn't always work out the way it's planned. Sometimes you run into stumbling blocks and you have to keep on pushing along and not let it just ruin your whole entire trip. So we just landed back in Melbourne. We spent a few days in Sydney, but we're staying in an Airbnb, and we came in and noticed that the bed was unmade. We went to the bathroom, noticed that that was still messy. The kitchen has dishes in the sink. So basically the cleaner never cleaned and prepared this location for us. So we called our host and he's gonna send the cleaner, but now we're behind on time. This kind of put a damper in our schedule, so we have to wait for the cleaner to clean our place. Everything does not happen as planned when you're traveling, despite what Instagram post would like you to believe. Maybe travel looks all glitz and glams from social media, but in real life, it's just not that way. It's reality, just like your non-vacation time. Chickens. Look who's hiding right now.